Ganz ehrlich, auf den Moment freue ich mich schon seit 3 Wochen. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Aber ganz ehrlich, wir sind in Österreich, das heißt, was wir hier eher machen, ist nicht bella ciao, wir machen einen Banküberfall und das machen wir mit ENRIQUE ARCE.
You guys
should be turned on.
Turn on? Can you hear me fine? You guys are very serious. You know what warms up every time I do anything like this? Like he did before? You get to sing along with me at least a little bit of the Bella Ciao. Una mattina, come on, mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor. Bella ciao for you.
Holy shit, you can actually sing.
I think I can sing more than I can act. No, yeah, I like singing. I mean, I'm from Spain. In Spain, everybody sings, whistles. You know, we're a very lively country, and you can see people singing in the street. So, I think it's part of our genes.
Yeah, I'm from Austria. I can drink.
All right. Well, yeah.
I think that's in our genes.
I think I have a little bit of Austrian in me then.
Yeah. Okay, we call it Blaufränkisch. You call it Rioja. Still a great wine.
Yeah.
But actually, the first thing that I was kind of interested when I thought, okay, you had to read all the scripts for the show. You had to really put yourself in the situation of how a robbery and a heist works. Can you do one now?
No. You know, I'm on the other side. I'm not part of the band. But yeah, when I read the scripts, I was like, how are they going to pull this off? How is the professor going to pull this off? Because you would read, 1 week you would read episode 3, and then you wouldn't get episode 4 until 2 weeks later. So I was biting my nails, like wanting to receive the script to find out how the professor could actually pull everything off that he does. And I think that would shows the genius of the writers and the brilliance of the script.
Yeah, because it's different with each and every show. I know from loads of people who worked on Game of Thrones that they get only their scenes from the script. They don't even get full scripts, most of the actors. The main actors do, but most of them only get their scenes. How is that with...
I only experienced that in Terminator Dark Fate. I didn't read the script once. They didn't tell me what I was supposed to say, and they didn't give me the sides until the day of the shoot. I couldn't even study the night before. You would get in the morning the script, and it's nerve-wracking. I want to know what my character is going to do, but I know there's a lot of problems, especially in big projects, with confidentiality and the fear of spoilers. I mean, with Netflix, man, I mean, we all got, at different points, every actor has got in a little bit of trouble. Because you get into an interview or an Instagram live or whatever, and you sometimes don't think of what you're saying. And you have to be very vigilant because you feel tempted to say stuff and then you can. Or maybe you don't even realize, and then Netflix says, you know, calls my agent and says, well, Enrique said that the premiere was going to be that day and the release was going to be that day. So we became paranoid, so much so that we decided to stop doing interviews until the show aired, because it was like, okay, I can't do this, so I might as well not give any.
But now, you know that the whole season was released, we can now talk about the
the whole season.
We can talk about the big twist in the final episode.
Okay.
Wink, wink. Yeah, that was a joke.
It is released, the first part, volume 1. And man, I'm telling you, for the people that hasn't watched it yet, because it released yesterday, we were watching all the actors in a movie theater. Ursula Tokyo cried, the professor cried. I mean, everybody was crying, shouting. I mean, it was amazing. It's what they have done, or what we have done with season 5, is as if La Casa de Papel 1, 2, 3, and 4 all of a sudden got a shot of steroids. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't think it's ever been done anything like that.
What I also found most interesting, because we just talked about the episodes of the show, but something that maybe not everyone knows is that the original Spanish cut of the show is different than the international cut, and the international cut has more shorter episodes of the same content. So what I was thinking about, because I didn't watch both versions, are there differences in these versions when it comes to content? Are there scenes being added, being cut?
Not to my knowledge, no. The problem was that there is a standard time in Spanish shows that it runs from 60 to 70 minutes. So it was too long for Netflix. And especially with the network that we did it, Antena 3, there were 15 minutes of publicity.
Yeah.
So the show was very long. People didn't connect with it the way it did with Netflix. As a matter of fact, we were going to do 18 episodes in the first season, season 1 and 2. And one day, one of the producers of Antena 3 came and said, no, you got to make the end faster. We can do 18. The ratings are going really low, so we're going to have to finish it in 15. In Spain, it was a failure. The show was a failure. Then Netflix got it and somehow became this huge success, which, thank God, but we still can't believe that happened, you know.
Because when you said it was a failure at first, I mean, for you as an actor, I took down, you have 63 acting credits on the IMDb.
Wow, you know more than me.
You're used to projects being huge successes or huge disappointments. How far, you know, do you usually step back and say, okay, it is what it is, or does that really, how happy or sad does it make you to see projects have a lot or no success?
I had the unfortunate, or maybe even fortunate, because when you taste the flavor of failure, your ego goes down, which is always good for an actor. Yeah, I had some flops in my career. I started with a big success. My first one was a very big, successful series. And I thought, you know, this is going to be like the rest of my life is going to be like that. No. After that, I did like 3 in a row that CEO of the TV channel would come down and say, guys, I'm sorry, tomorrow you're not coming to the set. It's heartbreaking. And then you have to say goodbye to everybody. And there's a little bit of guilt. Is it also because, you know, the acting is not good in it? Or, well, you know, and you cannot put it in you. But it's a good learning lesson. I'm not minding at all that I had those flops, as I didn't mind that it was a flop for the Spanish network. I took it as... And then Netflix got it, and this is really funny. I was in Los Angeles. I had very few followers on Instagram. At that time, I had like maybe 15,000. And it had aired in Spain, season 1 and 2. But I was very new to Instagram. The show in Netflix aired around the 20th of December of 2017. I wake up one day and I start seeing my phone, beep, 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 beep. I was like, what the hell is that? And I checked, and overnight, I had made 3,000 followers. And then it became 5,000, and then it became, and there's like, what's going on? And then I realized, holy smokes, it's because something is happening with Money Heist after the second or the third week after the release. And it became this huge wave that took the whole country. I was getting messages from Turkey, Argentina, Austria, Poland, Hungary, Indonesia, India. It was crazy. And we have a chat. All the actors from Money Heist, we are in a chat together, and we keep in touch. And all of a sudden, like I think Ursula, Tokyo, was like, oh my God, I just got like my first million. I have 1 million followers. I'm like, because she was already up there. It's like, wow, 1 million. And now she has 20-something million. It's crazy. It's like, and then wherever you go in the world, wherever, I've been in small remote islands with natives, living in little, cottages made of straw and mud. And they know you. Hey, Arturito! Yep. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's whatever this show has done. I don't think it's comparable to anything else, especially because it's a Spanish European film.
But the most interesting thing would be what the typical first response is that you get when people meet you, because I know the story from the actor who plays Joffrey on Game of Thrones. People see a picture of him, say, fuck, I hate that guy. But this is what makes his performance so great, that people hate the character but not the actor.
The first two seasons, I had a lot of hate. A lot of hate. Then it became love-hate. Mm-hmm. They coined a term called amor-odio, which means love-hate. And now what I'm getting from the fans is so much love and appreciation and compliments to the work, especially after season 5. And, a lot of people say, you know what, I don't think, no, it's already out, so I can say, I don't die in this series. I'm alive. So a lot of people...
Yet.
No, I don't die. I will never die. Arturo never dies. And a lot of people were happy with that, so I don't know.
So, one thing I want to tell the audience, I'll do it in German real quick. In der Mitte übrigens von den Sitzreihen steht ein Mikrofon, das hat einen Sinn. Falls irgendjemand eine Frage gerne direkt auf die Bühne stellen möchte, bitte einfach zum Mikrofon stellen und sobald ich sehe, dass da jemand steht und eine Frage stellen möchte, übergebe ich das Wort. Gibt's jemanden, dem jetzt gerade was unter den Nägeln brennt? Jeopardy music playing. This is everything I hear. Every time I ask the audience, if someone wants to ask you a question, just walk up to the mic and do it, and then I can hear ding, 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 dee, dee, ding, ding, ding. So nobody does it. Okay, so the next question that I ask is all your fault, because I want to ask you something completely different, because the first time I ever saw you in a movie was Beyond Reanimator.
Holy smokes. And how old were you, 3? 2003.
Yeah, 2003. I was 15.
That's when it got released.
I was 15 in 2003, and I'm already a big horror fan. I think I started to watch horror films with 11.
Wow.
But
did you sleep at night?
Only the child-friendly stuff like Lucio Fulci, Dario Argento.
Okay.
And of course the classics like Reanimator. Dr. Herbert West is a legend.
Right.
And along came a third part. And I love...
It was Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator,
Bride and then Beyond.
ARCE, Beyond, okay.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, because I don't think many of you know the film, is that he is getting killed, but that is only the start of the film, because of course the reanimator reanimates you. And what I love the most is there is a shot of you lying in bed in this prison and your intestines are falling out, which is a direct reference to the effects of Tom Savini in Day of the Dead.
Okay.
Are these things that you were aware of when you made the film? How many references and homages there are?
To be honest with you, I don't have that passion for terror as you did. I watch Reanimator, the one that Stewart did, I believe, right?
Yeah.
That was first that Brian Usna did. And, I got into the genre, but I wasn't very keen of other projects. I thought it was crazy. I mean, this guy, he likes so much blood and, and everything going sideways and explosions and whatnot. But I didn't know. I guarantee you, it's one of the shoots that I had most fun. And and Brian, the director, is crazy. With Dr. West, I get along really well. There were other Spanish actors, very successful ones. So it was very fun, very much fun. And it was shot in my town, in Valencia. The whole jail scene is in my hometown. And it was the first time in my life that I could work in my town. So that was the cherry on top of the pie.
And hopefully the first time you were in a jail.
And the last. Thank you.
Let's see what happens in the next season. No, but still, I also want to talk a bit about Terminator. Okay. Because it was the huge revival of... You just said you're not the big horror guy, but what were the movies that you grew up with that inspired you to become an actor?
Terminator definitely was one of the trilogies that I love. I was very lucky in this last one because if you're aware of how the Terminator saga went,
yep.
The first and the second are done by, Jesus, my memory.
Cameron.
James Cameron. Then he released the rights for the 3, 4, and 5. He kind of like let other people do it. For me, they weren't as great as 1 and 2. And then he came on board again and did Terminator Dark Fate, the 6th. So for me, it was a privilege. I mean, I remember the day that I met Linda Hamilton. We were smoking a cigarette outside after the reading, and she was like so warm, and she held me for like 30 seconds. I was like, I'm going to work with you in this film, but I want you to know I'm such a huge fan. And then the same with Arnold. I met him in the Four Seasons sauna in the hotel in Budapest. And I go with my towel and I walk, and there's all this fog because it's vapor. And I'm sitting. I was like, oh my God, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh my God, I gotta get out of here. And then I started talking to him briefly. He was leaving, but man, I'm obsessed with those guys, and I got to play with them, and it's amazing. It's amazing, and you don't have to love the genre of terror to appreciate probably the second biggest saga after, or the third, I would say, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Terminator. I think that's, or Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Terminator. I think it's up there, bronze medal.
Definitely.
And for me, it was a huge honor.
I mean, the thing is, Terminator is an interesting saga to me because it's, I think, one of 2 where people discuss that the second part is actually better than the first. The other one being another James Cameron film, Aliens.
Yeah.
Which is, I also grew up with these films. So
yeah.
I have to imagine getting the call. I'm going to be in what?
The what?
You're just going on the phone. I'm going to be in what?
Well, it was a very, very long process.
Yeah.
It lasted. I was in Spain at the time. They called me. No, I was in LA. They said, "Can you put yourself on tape for Terminator?" I'm like, "Yeah, right, whatever." Yeah, like I'm gonna work on it. So I put myself on tape, and and they told me, "No, everybody in Spain is auditioning for that, but give it a shot." So I put myself on tape. I completely forget about it. 1 month later, I get a call from my agent in London, saying, "Oh, listen, we want to see you here in London. Could you take a plane?" And I was like, "Okay, it's a long shot. I'm gonna have to pay it off my pocket." But you know what? It's Terminator. It's going to be fun. I went in the morning, left at night. So I go for the audition. It was the casting director and the assistant. I do the test. I was testing for 2 characters. And then 1 month down the road, I had completely forgotten about it. My agent in London says, "It's between you and 3 other people. 2 other people. It's 3 of you. But now the director wants to meet you." Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, now I have to go. So I took another plane, went to London, and the minute I came in contact with him as a director of Deadpool, I realized I have this. I don't even have to audition. We shook hands, and it was a connection. I felt so relaxed doing the screen test because we chat for 3-4 minutes. I was like, oh, I like this guy so much, he has to like me back. And yeah, and I got the role.
That is, I mean, when I looked through your IMDb page, we were talking about Netflix, about Reanimator, about Terminator. There are so many different things, even romantic films that you did. Drama, you did an amazing drama with Pierce Brosnan that we're going to talk about tomorrow.
The last one is Terror. The last one I shot in Paris. I don't think it might be there. It's with Mel Gibson.
Okay.
And Kevin Dillon, and that is around. It's not completely terror, but it's like adrenaline. I mean, it's like The Game. Remember The Game? That movie with Sean Penn and Michael Douglas.
Of course, that was amazing.
That I think it's even better, the script. And Mel does an amazing job. And it's 4 actors. I was one of them, and yeah, it was great. It was great.
The last question that I am going to ask before, again, playing the Jeopardy theme, is you did so many different and diverse projects. For you personally, what is the hardest to do, to pull off? Is it the romantic stuff? Is it the horror? Is it the action?
Always, always, always. And whoever actor tells you differently is lying. Comedy. Comedy is not just acting, it's music. You have to have that musical timing for a joke to be good. I mean, for me, the hardest thing would be something like Friends. A show like that, like a sitcom. And I've done comedy as a movie, but it's different than a sitcom with a live audience. For me, that would be the hardest genre, but also the most fulfilling, for sure.
Of course. So, I'm going to ask once again, is there someone with a question for Enrique up on stage? Möchte jemand noch eine?
With a question gets a selfie.
Yeah, never fuck with the stage, guys. This is what's gonna happen. Bitte sehr. Aber du kannst das tatsächlich abdrehen. Wir haben tatsächlich jemanden gefunden.
Who has seen the first part of season 5 of How's This Helden? Raise your hand. All right, low numbers still. I guarantee you've never seen anything like that, I promise.
Is it on?
Bitte sehr.
Hi, I'm from Brazil.
Oh, então você fala português se quiseres.
Podemos falar, claro.
Sim, para muita gente não percebe nada, né?
Ah, tudo bem. Então, a minha professora de teatro no Brasil, ela é dubladora. E ela dublou La Casa de Papel.
Oh.
Ela dublou a...
She's saying that one of her teachers has dubbed Casa de Papel for Brazil in Portuguese. I actually have a really good relationship with the guy that does my voice, Ennio Vivona. He's the guy that does Arturo in Brazilian, and we actually got to meet in person, and now we follow each other and became somewhat friends. So I know them. And the question?
The question is, how was it like working with Jeffrey Combs? Because I absolutely love him, and he's a monster in acting.
He's amazing. Well, it's been a while. I'm telling you, it's like 18 years ago. Yeah, well, we all know who Jeff was because I watched Terminator, the first part, Reanimator, the first part. And he's such a sweet guy. He's like, if you ever come to LA, give me a shout. We'll go for dinner. If you need a reference letter for your visa, please ask me. I'll do it gladly. So I haven't seen him in a while, but he was very present the first year that I was in LA. And I thank him for that. And he is a masterful actor of suspense and terror with that demeanor that seems like he's not doing anything, but he's doing so many things. He was born to play Herbert West.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Muito obrigada.
Obrigado te.
So, thanks a lot to everyone for listen to us ramble on stage,
And
especially.
watch season 5 of Haus des Geldes, or I'll go chase you, every one of you.
We're going to be back here tomorrow if you want to see more questions and answers. Give a huge round of applause to ENRIQUE ARCE.
Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Danke.